and even more. I think we have seen from what you told us just before and how things have evolved and how we began to move from acquiring and retaining customers to monetize them effectively. So we've seen a lot of models, and some of them you just referred to just now. So, what do you think is the future of 2014 and even more in mobile about monetization? Do you think that in-app purchases will be here and remain as strong as they are in 2013, or we're going to see something truly different?
Well, there's no one size fits all because, of course, so in-app purchases is very interesting. So maybe first of all, what is interesting to see is that app economy, that's such a thing, is becoming relative to the handset market itself, is becoming bigger and bigger. What would we say that it was 80-20? So the size of the app economy was 20% the size of the size of the handset market was probably 80%,
80%.
but by I think by 2016, 2017, that ratio would be more like one third, two third. So the app economy is growing. And of course, the thing is, at the same time, the Gartner released a report lately that was quite interesting, but there's been other analysts that say the same thing. We tend to see that the price of apps themselves tend to go down lower and lower and actually reaching zero. Basically, consumers are less ready to pay for an app up front, meaning it's a way lesser way to monetize from app developers. When I say app developer, another person, what can be a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the rankings of how people monetize the applications, of course, the royal way to do it is to have like a licensing agreement with a company or to do a royalty agreement with a company. I mean, this is very high barrier to entry. This is limited to a very limited subset of companies that can access content, like let's say putting, for instance, music with music labels. I mean, this requires long product cycles, long negotiations. So this is almost close. It's very limited the number of developers that can actually use this road.
Okay.
Then, if you look at between if you have subscription, there still remains an interesting model for monetization and in-app purchase, which is very close. And we see more and more developers trying in-app purchases. Actually, they're trying it more than the freemium model or the pay to download, the one I just mentioned that is going
That's
down.
similar to pay as you go.
The thing that's interesting is here is that, again, there's no one size fits all. All ecosystems are a bit different. Of course, the iOS ecosystem, so Apple ecosystem, has probably in-app purchases is one of the avenues that works well. Probably because it has a more power early adopters, power users. I know it's always religious when people talk Apple versus Android. It's not what I'm doing here. If you look at the numbers,
Brand engagement, yes.
yeah. If you look at the numbers, the value of a customer is probably higher still, especially for in-app purchases. So
Mm-hmm.
in-app purchases stays for iOS developers stays a very important way to monetize applications. But if you look at Google, so Google Play, on Google Play, that excludes China, by the way, which is mentioned before, because Google Play is out from China, but that is probably in-app advertising, but it is used by many more developers because this one has the one that makes money. It also comes down to the fact if you look at the three major ecosystems, which is Amazon, Apple, and Google. I'm not mentioning Windows Mobile, not that it's bad. We can cover that later if we have time. But basically, both Amazon and iTunes have a payment mechanism that is inside of it. It works. Basically, you can do an in-app purchase. The whole funnel is already baked in. But with Google Play, you don't have it in every country. I think now that Google Checkout is available in, I think, South Korea and Japan, as we were mentioning Asia before.
Mm-hmm.
Since Google implemented Google Checkout in these markets, conversions have been rising in these markets, and in-app purchases have been rising as well. So it proves. So that's why there's no one size fits all. It depends on the market you're in, with the average revenue per user, if you have like access to users that have purchase intent or not. It also depends on the ecosystems you're in. If you're in iOS versus again Google, it could be Amazon as well. So they're all very different ecosystems. And there's not one that is better than the other. It's just that they are very different.
Okay.
And one more thing, yeah, of course.
Feel free.
The great thing, of course, of in-app purchases, that's one of the reasons that they will not disappear. And of course, with gaming is probably the best avenue. I mean, if you have Candy Crush on your phone, you probably already got bankrupt 5 times this month. But
True for me.
I would say that this model is hard to replicate. Outside of gaming, it can be very addictive. It's very hard for brands and marketers to actually make it as addictive. So it's more, it's a commoditization model that will, I think, stay, but that will not be the main model. I think advertising still has, although advertising is not yet completely fully baked in for mobile, I think advertising is one model that will keep on across all platforms, being one monetization model that will actually be widely used.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear. And let's see what happens next and when we see next.